Welcome to session 4 and the final session of Growth Hacks, the 12 strategies for doubling your profits right now. In this session, we'll be covering the hows and whys of raising your prices or fees, how precise targeting or list segmentation can give you exponential growth, and the strategy I like to call the touch me baby strategy. Okay, so Dan, in the Growth Hacks, so what we want to talk about here is today, let me go over here to my notes here so I can get right on here. So let's talk about raising prices, because this is a nice growth hack and it's really not that difficult to do.
Look, it's the easiest one.
Right, yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple.
And again, it by itself, you're probably not going to double. You're certainly not going to double revenue.
Right.
You may double profits though.
Right, which is the promise of this. And by the way, if you use all of these.
Well,
right,
yeah.
Right.
But so first of all, most businesses are underpriced at least somewhere. Mm-hmm. Right? They may not be overall underpriced, but they're at least underpriced on something or some things to somebody, right? And the main reason for that is that they are either just skittish and squeamish and timid and fearful, and you know, Zig said timid salesmen have skinny kids.
Yeah.
So, or they pay too much attention to industry norms, formulaic pricing, cost me X, multiplied by 2.3, add $1, that's the price it should sell for. Their competition, you know, they're not really effective at selling in a vacuum. They may fear it because they have crappy marketing and sales skills. And the answer to that, by the way, is go fix your marketing and your sales skills, right? Don't settle for continually being poorly compensated. They have crappy deliverables. The answer to that, fix your deliverables. You know, well, I don't dare charge more because the place isn't clean and my people are nasty and well, fix that, you know. Or they're not doing the math right. So they fear, okay, if I raise my price, I'm gonna lose some customers, and maybe you will. But if you run some math on that, you will find you can lose 10%, 20% of your customers, and with a 30% price increase, and look at what happens to you, right?
Sure.
So going and raising the price, particularly if you can create an environment in which you can test it, okay, is the fastest and easiest path to increasing profits in a business. So there's a theory that a lot of people have that, I sell more units at a lower price, right? And I'll sell less units at a higher price. Right. And generally, broadly, yes, it's true.
Right.
Right? But narrowly, it often isn't.
Right.
Right? So, yeah, you'll sell more cars at 50,000 than at 200,000.
Right.
But 50 to 59,
right.
50 to 62, probably not.
Right.
Probably not. Certainly not enough to sacrifice that extra $12,000.
Yeah, absolutely. Another myth that people have, which is, well, people are only shopping for the lowest price. We hear this a lot. My customers, my clients, my patients want the lowest price. I was just talking to my wife, who's getting into real estate, trying to be a real estate agent, and actually, you know, selling some homes and doing that. But she's like lamenting the fact that real estate agents in our area are cutting commissions. They're cutting commissions, and she doesn't want to cut commissions. And she's like, everybody though is going to go with the person that's doing it for 1%. Why? So talk to Karen for me.
The only so, first of all, it's only a max of 15% of people who automatically, constantly, and consistently buy by price. The overwhelming majority of them do so because they have no alternative. Right? So, single mom, deadbeat dad, 3 kids, crappy job, she's buying whatever soup's on sale because she has no choice.
Right.
Right? And if she has to sell her house 4 steps ahead of foreclosure, she's listing with whoever will charge her the least to do it.
Right.
She's under so much economic duress. All of her decisions are driven by price. It's less than 15% of the population, right? Or of any population you want to put together. Chinese restaurant owners in Sheboygan.
Right.
Okay, it's 15% of them who are under that kind of pressure and have to behave in that way. The rest of the people behave situationally. And when they buy the cheapest of whatever is being offered to them, they do so in the absence of persuasive information about comparative superiority. Okay? So if we walk in, we were talking about this jacket earlier, which I should never have bought. Right? So, by the way, anytime I try and use a coupon, Armageddon ensues. You don't even want to be in the same state with me when I try and use a coupon. But I should never buy anything on sale either.
Right.
So if you walk into a store and there's two jackets and they appear to be identical to you, and you feel them and they feel identical,
You're gonna buy that cheap
and you try them
Right.
on and they feel identical when you put them on,
Right.
and one's $199 and one's $499, unless you're just goofy,
Right.
you're buying the $199.
Right.
Somebody has to say to you, let me explain the difference in the way these things are made.
Right.
Right? And so somebody has to say, in her case, by the way, I hope she's paying attention to Procter and
Yeah, she is. I mean, I'm picking on
Luther,
her,
our
but this
titanium
was like
member,
this
but
was like
yeah.
a 2-second conversation.
So
Yeah.
somebody has to say, you can find any number of real estate agents who will discount commissions, right? And some will discount more than others, right? You will find most won't charge you a listing fee, only rebated out of the commission. However, the way I do business is X, and here's why that's actually the better bargain,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, and when people say, so I used to get a lot if I did hot seats at Joe's for carpet wear. Everybody in my town buys on price, right? If I come to visit, right, we better only find Walmart and dollar stores. If there is any other retail store in your town,
Right.
I'm kicking your ass, right? And we better only see Kias. If there's any other car on the road, parked in a driveway anywhere in your city, I'm taking a baseball bat and beating your head to a bloody pulp, right? Because you're full of crap. When we go to the grocery store, there better only be the house brand.
Right.
There better be no Progresso soups in the aisle.
Right.
All right? There better be the house brand of soup, private label, that's it, not even Campbell's. Right? Because otherwise, people are standing there and they are making a choice
Right.
to pay a higher price than is right in front of them
Right.
for a can of soup.
Right.
Right? And there isn't even a salesperson there
Right.
explaining it to them.
Right.
Right? So it's all nonsense. It's
Right.
just not true. It's not how people behave, except in the absence of persuasive information about comparative superiority.
Sure. So if you're viewed as a commodity, which is what the whole GKIC marketing is all about, so making sure that you're not viewed as a commodity, that you're viewed as an authority, a celebrity, expert, all that kind of stuff. Right. They're going to, I mean, it's just crazy. You know, on the Brass Ball Seminar that we're actually giving away to the first 200 people who invest in growth hacks, you talk about price. You talk about price a lot and about how
Price and fee.
Price and fee. Talk a little bit about that.
And really the same thing applies to terms.
Sure.
To how you do business with
Sure.
me.
Okay.
And so again, in real estate, we have real estate agents charging a listing fee.
Sure.
Okay. And
Which they should.
of course they should.
Right.
And they're right up against, the average person now interviews 5 before they list a house. So they trot them in and out over
Right.
5 evenings or, whatever, right? And so the person following my recommendation probably going to be the only one sitting there saying it's $997 to sign up, right?
Right.
Everybody else is definitely not saying that.
Right.
And they're immediately, I'll cut my commission,
Right.
they're doing that. So how does this person even survive,
Right.
right? I mean, first of all, they have to be able to maintain a straight face and hold their testicles in place if they're a male while they quote it. And that's really what we talked about,
Yeah.
you know, a lot in that classic seminar.
Yeah.
Is you have to know your worth. You have to have deal flow. You have to know there's another bus coming,
Right.
right? You have to be able to make a persuasive argument of comparative superiority. You can freely acknowledge. I always have. When I was, you know, 10,000 to write a campaign for somebody, there were people at 500.
Right.
You
Sure.
know, now that I'm at 50 to 200,000, there's a lot of lower priced copywriters. And if you really don't have the ability to pay, the size and scope of your opportunity is inappropriate for me, I will be happy to recommend some. They're not me.
Right.
Okay? They may be serviceable though.
Right.
They're competent, they're reliable. Let me give you some names.
Right.
And more often than not, by the way, that turns.
Makes them want you even more.
Of course.
Right.
I mean, so price, fee, compensation, whatever compensation is in your business, is more dictated by you than by competition. Okay? First of all, most competitors are terrible. They're lousy at advertising. They're lousy at marketing. They're lousy at sales. And they're more scared of price than you probably will ever be. So there's a lot of them, but they're all horrible.
Right.
Right? You should be able to kick their butts.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I mean, and secondly, the person really doesn't know. They can't judge comparative superiority.
Right.
So you get to control that criteria.
Sure.
And if you control the criteria properly, higher price makes sense, and you win with 85% of the consumers.
So let's get down to the nitty-gritty details. How does somebody go about raising prices? Is there a formula? And the follow-up question to that one is, which we get all the time, well, how do I deal with my current customers, clients, or patients if I'm raising the price?
So there's two approaches, big approaches to raising price.
Okay.
One is the cowardly lion approach, which is I'm going to do it, right? But I'm worried about it. So you create tiers and choices, right? So that, and upgrade opportunities, so people choose the higher price,
Sure.
right? If a significant majority of them are choosing the higher price, now you should be emboldened to throw away the low one.
Right.
Take the one you created, make it the base.
Right.